gonna reach into the neighborhoods. We're gonna reach into the barrio. We're gonna reach everywhere.
The story's out there.
Islam, one of the fastest growing religions in America, 1,209 mosques.
No 30-second sound bites.
Like all other faith traditions, America means home to 7 million Muslims.
Las Vegas,
Michigan,
Chicago,
Houston,
Boston, uncut, the whole thing.
Detroit,
Iowa,
Virginia,
Montana,
San Francisco,
Tennessee, New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C.
Experience the independent voices of American Muslims. Muslims America. In the Sunshine State of Florida lies the city of Tampa. That's where a group of American Muslim women are running a non-profit organization called Piedad. Piedad is an initiative to help and guide Latina women as well as women from other cultural backgrounds on the true tenets of Islam. Khadija Rivera and Jill Merida are spearheading this initiative in Tampa. As Khadija tries to be a good Muslim, she's also trying to be a good citizen.
A lot of the critics have been saying that Muslims are not involved in community work or social work or helping somebody who is of another faith.
Yeah.
But you have broken that myth by doing your Project Downtown and doing your other community and social work. What is Project Downtown?
Project Downtown was started by some college students at, I believe, University of South of Florida. And what they do is they decided to pool together their little money and do peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and offer them to the homeless in Tampa Bay. I would like to introduce all these wonderful students here who are volunteering and just Muslim youth who are here. Some of them are from USF, some of them are from my school at UAF. And some of them are from other schools. But the thing is, here in Tampa Bay, we care about homelessness.
Piedad has joined forces with some young Muslim college students from Florida's big-name universities to help Tampa's needy. And they call it Project Downtown.
Hi. We make sandwiches and we get Taco Bell sometimes.
Project Downtown was started with a couple of groups, a couple of university students back in Miami, and just people who have been gathering what money, the little money they have, saw that was a problem in the community, went out, bought a couple of sandwiches, went to the local city hall and just started feeding. And then one of those people came down here.
We're here because in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, feed the hungry. So that's our purpose here. That's all.
So in the midst of pouring rain, typical Florida weather, we head out to see what Project Downtown is all about. Most of these guys and girls are college students, but as American citizens, they feel an obligation to take care of the less fortunate.
And from there we went to other cities and took off. Other universities are doing it. It started out from the MSA, the Muslim Student Association, and came down to be its own project. I am the outreach coordinator for the one in Tampa Bay, and I enjoy it so much because as an outreach coordinator, basically when the students have summer break or winter break and they're not around but they still want to feed the hungry, who expect that food there on Fridays at a certain time, our sisters group, our Piedad group, the sisters we can just make a phone call and they're all willing to cook and bring down some food, and so this is just part of our charitable work that we need to do for the community. And in Islam, we know as Muslims that we have to help out. We have to give. There is a lot of blessings in being charitable and sharing whatever you have. Even if it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, someone needs it today. The city's going to have a Super Bowl, and they're trying to run the homeless people out. But they think if they do them out of sight, like they're not here, they can't see them, they're not visible, they're out of sight, out of mind, they don't have to worry about them. But they're still here. So that just makes no sense whatsoever. You can't run people out when they're still hungry.
But it's people like you that do have a heart.
So why would these American Muslims would want to help or feed the homeless of Tampa? According to Khadija Rivera, Tampa City is trying to hide the homeless and ignoring even the basic of their needs, like shelter.
Because it's raining, they're hiding to take cover, basically to take cover. But they usually sleep in empty lots and in parks. If they're caught, they're actually arrested for vagrancy when in fact they don't have a place to live.
So we're driving around downtown Tampa trying to find a few homeless people.
There's 11,000 homeless people here in Tampa Bay, a big city with lots of money and lots of resources.
So we continue to search for them. Maybe they'd like to talk to us.
You see these gates here? These gates are opened up at night, and that's where the only safe place in the city where they can sleep, because they're crowded in like a corral where you keep sheep and goats.
So what you're saying is the city is trying to hide their homeless people.
Absolutely, absolutely. They don't take care of them, but they love to hide them.
And then we finally find some old friends of Project Downtown. These guys know Khadija very well, and they have a great deal of respect for her. And the students from Project Downtown say that no one is actually afraid of these homeless people. And it's vice versa. These homeless people are not afraid of the Muslims.
You're not here, but I want them to know that.
And here, they're complaining about the city's actions against them.
But then again, they don't want you on this wall right here. But
that
still,
makes
and yet,
sense, yeah.
what you close the gate for if you don't want nobody on the wall?
But the homeless people of Tampa, like this gentleman here, says that he truly appreciates the college kids coming out every week. He says the homeless waits for them in rain or shine. And these homeless guys go on to say that it's not just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that they wait for, but what they care about is the thought, because that's what counts.
Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. Project Downtown comes here every Friday and brings those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yes,
They were
yes,
just here
yes.
about half an hour ago.
They got the water. Still got the water.
That's wonderful.
And just ate the sandwiches.
That's cool.
Yes,
That's cool.
they just left.
How do you feel about them coming? Do you feel like they're
Oh, we wait on them. We wait. You see, we waited in the rain, got caught in the rain.
I know, they got caught in the rain
Yes,
too,
ma'am,
but they wanted to
appreciate
come
you.
out today. That's wonderful.
He says it does take a lot of effort to make those sandwiches and to distribute them.
We feel beautiful with them coming down.
Because they do come with a lot of love. Let me tell
Yes,
you, they
yes.
drop everything to be here and to be
we
with you
already
guys.
know that.
Yeah,
We already
that's
know.
great. I'm glad that you know, because I really believe it's heartfelt. Otherwise, I wouldn't be with them. I really believe it's heartfelt.
And they appreciate it.
And then you're serving the community despite the fact if somebody's a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or
Oh, absolutely, for all mankind.
why?
You never know who you're going to touch. You never know. We have these people who are homeless out there who everybody else, Christians, they're Christians, the majority. Other Christians will walk by and walk around them, go the opposite way to stay away from them. We come up to them. We don't just give them food and walk away. We don't feed them like they're at the zoo. We make friends with them, we talk with them, we interact with them week after week after week, and we know the stories about their family, we know when they're sick, we know, and we get to develop relationships with them. And oftentimes we'll invite some of the homeless people to come speak at our events, and they just are brought to tears, and they say, we cannot believe how amazing the Muslims are. And it's acts like that not only are we serving, we do it for the sake of Allah, and we're feeding them, but it's also there's a bigger message being brought, and it's exposing a whole new realm of people to Islam, to not be afraid of us, to not have that stereotype of,
Thank you, brother.
you know, that we're going to hurt them or anything. So they are very, very quick, and they're very quick to defend us and to stand up for us and to protect us when we're out there. The same group of people that we've been going to feed, they don't let anything happen to us. They're extremely protective.
And at the end of Project Downtown tour, somebody was feeling really cold because of the rain. So what did Khadija do? She did exactly what was expected of her. At least that's what her friends say.
God bless you.
God bless you.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Very much.
You're welcome.
When we see a Muslim woman in a hijab, people are like, oh my God, stay away from her. Why do you think that is happening?
I think it's just that people have not, they have a lot of misunderstandings about Muslims.
Now, before we start to dig deeper, let's stop for a second and rewind. We need to settle the hijab or the veil issue. A lot of people of other faiths question the covering of the head. You know, when Muslim women wear the hijab. So we try to find out about it, straight from the source.
So all the Muslim women in the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, or any other prophet of God, women used to cover their heads like this throughout history?
Throughout history, after the prophet, I mean, even, yeah, Mary, you know, that, when you look back and everything, the majority of them were indeed covered. Out of respect, like we say, you know, look at the nuns. We look at the nuns and we say, oh, they're so sweet, they're so pious, look at how pure they are, you know, and just as Americans, you know, we have that perspective like, oh, they're so pure, you know, and everything. But then we look at the Muslim women and we say, oh, that poor woman, her husband makes her wear hijab, you know, it's a different perspective on it. And it's not, you know, if a woman doesn't want to wear it, you know, that's between her and Allah.
What about getting on the planes or walking, you know, taking a train or taking the bus? You're comfortable wearing this?
Yeah, you know, in fact, I think that oftentimes they get better treatment in America because they're so hypersensitive to being accused of, you know, stereotyping or giving us a hard time or being prejudiced against us, that they want it to be abundantly clear that they're not doing that. So sometimes they go to the opposite extremes to be extra nice to us. I've experienced that a lot more than I've ever experienced being discriminated against.
Wow, that's fascinating because we heard the opposite.
Yeah.
You're sure that you don't feel hot in this hijab?
No, I feel fine. I feel fine. We're used to it all day, every day.
And throughout the seasons you wear this?
Yes, all the time.
And it's totally cool.
Yep, yeah.
It's almost 100 degrees out there and you don't feel hot in this hijab.
I feel as hot as anyone who was wearing a t-shirt. The difference is that I feel that this is the way I should dress. It's for my comfort, and I feel that modesty is very important for me.
The one comment I always get is, but it's just so hot, it's just so hot. And I said, it's not as hot as it's going to be, you know, on the day of judgment if I choose to live otherwise, so.
And people who are not wearing the hijab, you think they're bound for hell?
No, I think it needs to come from within, because I know many people who are wearing the hijab who may not be as pious as sisters who are not wearing the hijab. I personally feel it's an order from Allah, so I wear it. I don't believe that any man, my husband, nobody can give me permission to not wear it, because this is directly from Allah. So that's why I personally choose to wear it.
And to be honest, I'm a little warm too, I'm hot too. And I probably can't see I'm sweating, but I might be sweating, you know. But I just don't feel it as much. I have a reason why I dress the way I do.
Just in case I have this
That's fine.
backup towel.
That's fine.
Okay, let's wipe. Wiping time.
Tampa Bay.
I love Tampa.
So if the nuns and Virgin Mary can cover their heads and wear the hijab or the scarf, then why can't Muslim women do that? Asks Jill Marida.
Talking to Sister Jill yesterday, she raised an important point that every time we see the Christian nuns in hijab or in their dress, we say, oh, what a lovely face. But when we see a Muslim woman in a hijab, people are like, oh my God, stay away from her. Why do you think that is happening?
I think it's just that people have not, they have a lot of misunderstandings about Muslims, because if they did understand what we believed in, they would understand it's the same faith. Why do we wear a veil? Well, Mary used to wear a veil, and she was a believing woman of the Jewish faith, And she was not Christian, she was a Jewish faith, and she wore a veil because she covered her hair out of modesty. We have the same purpose in wearing our veil. It's a modesty issue, and of course we take it off at home and when we're our families.
Some critics also ask, why do Muslims call each other brothers and sisters? What about the rest of humanity? What are they to them?
Every time we talk about Muslim men or Muslim women, I hear fellow Muslim women and men calling them brothers and sisters. Can't we call Christians and Jews and people of other faiths our brothers and sisters too?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we understand that we are all brothers and sisters in this world. I believe that I was born a Muslim, but that I came back to practice Islam when I first made the Shahada here in this earth. I was raised as a Christian.
Did your family have any problems with that?
Yes. When I first converted to Islam or reverted to Islam, my family had big issues with it. It was at the beginning, you feel the little isolation of becoming a revert and having new people to deal with and your family sometimes shunning you. But at the same time, you're gaining new people.
Were they upset for a prolonged period of time? Are they okay now?
Yes. It was like the first year, 2001, 2002, and then afterwards we slowly came back together as friends, as family. Family ties came back. It was fine.
And everyone's cool with that now?
Yes. They've accepted me 100%. It's no problem.
And they also understand that you don't represent the radical fringe of the religion. You are just a normal Muslim woman in America.
Yes, we've discussed it many times about the differences, about what kind of Muslims are real, true Muslims. A true Muslim doesn't hurt another person, doesn't hurt a tree, doesn't break down a tree, without permission of the owner. And how people can be, we have free will, we're humans. So we have the will to be good, we have the will to be bad. Christians can be good, they can be bad. Muslims can be good, they can be bad.
But when someone converts or reverts to another faith, they leave everything else behind. So what happens to their families, their relations, their relatives, their festivities? How do they celebrate their occasions?
That's a really good point. I mean, I'm here, my family's here, and we have friends here, so whenever there's Eid or any other Muslim occasion, we get together. What do you guys do?
It's that's one of the hardest times of the year for us because we don't get to celebrate the family holidays like we used to, the traditional American type holidays, and they don't get to our families don't get to celebrate our Muslim holidays with us. So for the people who are single, oftentimes they're alone. They don't have family, but their dedication to Allah keeps them strong and going with it. What basically has happened here is we have a very strong community here, and we usually unite with each other, and it's like a surrogate family that we've developed, and we support one another, we eat together, we everything, we give marital advice, we help each other with the spouses like a family would do. We're basically a surrogate family, and we're there for each other like mothers, aunts, sisters would be.
Now critics would ask, how does Piedad survive? Well, Piedad survives like all other non-profits, on donations. But donations for Piedad is not coming from foreign countries or any radical. It comes either from local citizens or from organizations like the Tampa Bay Muslim Alliance, that's being headed by Dr. Hussein Nagamia, a renowned cardiologist in America.
What are the causes that Tampa Bay Muslim Alliance is involved with?
Well, yeah, our main idea is to feed the hungry, to clothe the poor, to address their needs, because these are homeless people. They don't have anywhere to go. So we give them conveyance. As I said, bicycles were given away. We conduct their tests, which they may never have a test in the whole year. So we detect disease for them and send them on to free clinics, etc. So we do a lot of this kind of work. So this is has been going on for 11 years now. Yeah.
Allah Akbar.
You don't feel scared or somebody's going to attack you or anything like that?
Allah Akbar.
The average American has been extremely respectful to me. The kids will just look, and then they'll smile and look away.
Dr. Nagamia blames the media for not highlighting the positive initiatives taken by the American Muslim community.
You've been doing that for the past 11 years. All that you talked about are all beautiful, positive things that Muslims are doing in America.
Right.
Then how come Muslims have such a bad image?
Well, I think the part of the blame goes to the media, because I think the media tends to exemplify the the part of Muslims which is bad. If somebody does a crime or if somebody does something, then it is plastered in big letters and it is categorized that it is done by a Muslim. But everybody else does it too. I mean, the Christian may do it, the Jews may do it, but then it becomes an individual and it doesn't, his religion or is not emphasized. But when you do good things, then they tend to kind of be, they do show some aspects of it, but it's very brief and, at a very probably inopportune time at midnight or something like that,
But he feels that it's also the responsibility of Muslim organizations and American Muslim citizens to play a proactive role in inviting and working with the media.
So I think if the Muslims also let them know beforehand that they are doing this, and so they don't tend to ignore totally, but I think they don't give as much importance to the positive things that Muslims do as they could, because if they could, we are of course citizens of this country. We are going to be here. We want to benefit the society, and I mean, I would say 99.9% of the Muslims are very good, positive citizens of this country. And they do positive things. And those positive things have to be brought up.
What do you think is going on right now as far as Islam is concerned and Muslims are concerned? Do you think that the world outside America doesn't know that there are American Muslims like yourselves living here, and at the same time, Americans themselves aren't fully aware about your existence?
Arab Muslims, Pakistani Muslims in the U.S., here at the masjid, all the time I have sisters asking me, "Sister, where are you from?" And I'll say, "I'm American." And they're like, yes, you live here, but where are you from originally? And I'm like, "No, sister, I'm American, born and raised and generations. I am America, okay? We can be American Muslims." And that's like, I think it takes them back a little bit. And they're like, "Oh, I thought you were Moroccan. I thought you were, such and such." And then they say, "Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah," So that's I think we have, even within our own communities, we have that issue. It's not just the people who are on the outside that have, that are naive to that fact.
And how do you think we can address that?
I think that we're just trying to get our message out a lot, at least our presence here at this masjid, and every Eid, on Juma, we try to be out, we try to make our presence known. We try to, now that we're more organized and we've been able to, have a stance and say, okay, this is us, we are American Muslims, we're starting to get the message out. I think it's also important, in my workplace where I was not ashamed or anything. They knew I was Muslim. My coworkers, through the city of Tampa knew that I was Muslim. They would come to me, they would ask questions openly, and I wouldn't want them to be nervous about asking certain types of questions, because I wanted to be able to answer them, whether they were biased, whether, they seemed stereotypical or anything. I'm like, bring it on, let me clear it up. Let's just talk about it, give you a better understanding.
You don't feel scared or, somebody's going to attack you or anything like that?
Surprisingly, there's parts of Florida where it's a little bit more, Confederate flag flying people and pickup truck, to be stereotyping myself, you know. Those type of people kind of make you nervous, whether you're Black American, whether I have a biracial son, you know, so I used to get nervous with that stuff. But I can say that I have been extremely impressed with the responses that I get, even going into the rural towns. I've never had anybody be rude or ignorant to me. They may look out of curiosity, that's human nature, you know, and I wish they would, you know, say, oh, you know, ask me a question about it. The only thing I've ever had them say to me was, oh, what a beautiful outfit, what a beautiful hijab, oh, I like the colors. You know, it's never been anything negative, alhamdulillah. And so I think that in large, you probably do have the people who do have bad experiences where you find somebody that's just kind of gone off the deep end. But in large, they've been extremely respectful. The average American has been extremely respectful to me. The kids will look, but even the kids, you know, they'll just look and then they'll smile and look away. Kids who have no filter on their mouth, you know, haven't been even saying rude things. So that says something for our society.
That's fantastic.
But talking about media, this takes me back to Valia Ahmed. She was once a broadcasting major, but as a Muslim woman, she now feels a little nervous.
And you're a broadcasting major. You were.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. So why didn't you pursue that?
Nerves. I have a lot of nervousness in being Muslim, a lot of being out. I've been out, and sometimes I pull myself back in because to me, sometimes if I'm not studying Islam to a greater degree, I step out, get nervous and say, I can't be more out there than I am here, and then that's what ends up happening to me. It happens a lot.
People in the outside world saying that Muslims are under attack and Muslims are facing a lot of problems, that's a myth.
Well, I've had lots of conversations with people who've never been to America who say, oh, you're in America and you're Muslim. You know, I heard that they spit on you, that they treat you bad, that they do everything. And you can't blame them because probably the only thing they're seeing on their media is that. Just like in America, the only thing we see are the, you know, people acting crazy, the Muslims acting crazy, you know, and that's not really the way it is. That's not what's happening. People are living everyday normal lives. They're being kind to each other. So absolutely it's a myth. It's the sensationalized media that's, you know, broadcasting over there for whatever purpose they have, you know, astaghfirullah, whatever they're wanting to do with that, you know, let them try, but that's not what we experience on an everyday basis here.
So here's an American Muslimah, an American Muslim woman, having a fantastic life, raising a family, offering her prayers, following her faith, coexisting with all other faith traditions in America, and doing a lot of social and community work, feeding the hungry, and living the American dream. Am I correct? Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And might I also add that in many countries, Islamic, quote unquote, Islamic countries, I wouldn't have the freedom to practice Islam the way I'm practicing it right now. My husband is Tunisian, his father's an imam, and 10 minutes after prayer, he better have that masjid locked up or else the police are there. You know, women are walking on the street. And again, I don't want to say, this is coming from the people, not from media, you know, so this is secondhand. But, you know, the girls' hijabs oftentimes by public officials are being torn off. But yet and still they tolerate legalized prostitution, you know, so they're allowing one extreme, but they're not allowing the other, not even extreme, but moderate people to practice their religion, and it's a very dangerous slope for them, and that's not what we experience here in America. We're allowed on all spectrums of the scale.
So the moderate, peaceful, progressive Muslim revolution is taking place in the United States.
I do believe this, yes.
And like Jill, Khadija also feels that this is her time. Once, she was spat upon, but now she says she's ready to make a difference in her life as well as in the lives of others, no matter what their faith may be.
I also believe that this is our time. The Latino Muslim in America is doing a renaissance.